Hello everybody, welcome back to Resinette. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so excited to get this little snowman done. Just really quickly, I just wanted to share with you, a lot of you may have seen this already. Let's Resin sent this to me to give it a try. And, you know, I'm always going to give my honest opinion. So I am excited to give this a go. It comes in a nice box with, gosh, this container here. And let's see, several. And it comes with several of these additional mixing cups that are really great with the measurements on the side. And as you all know, I am a lover of the clear cups with the measurements done in black on the side. So that is a nice thing for me. Comes with a tool here for cleaning. Comes with a USB cable. And this is rechargeable, which I didn't even realize, but when I got it, I took it out of the box and I pushed the button and it was already working with no plug-ins. So that makes it really versatile. Okay, so anyway, I am going to go ahead and just mix my resin with this because usually it takes me about 4 to 6 minutes to mix it with my portable, you know, my little electric mixer. So I'm excited. This one's only supposed to take like, 1 to 2 minutes, 40 seconds to maybe a couple minutes. So I'm going to give it a try. We are going to use my J Diction, and that is what I've got here on hand. And I think what I'm going to do is I've got a couple of projects, but I think I'm going to do 12 ounces here. Okay. Just at the 12. So I'm not going to go all the way full. I don't have that much to work with before my resin would start curing. So we're going to do 12 ounces, 6 ounces of part B, and then 6 ounces of part A. This is the resin I'm using. This is regular J Diction. It is not deep pour. And I think I've got a new bottle. Okay, so in the instructions here, it makes it super easy to follow, and it gives you just the step guide. Super simple. Okay, just tells you step 1 all the way down to 6. Really easy to follow and understand. It gives some mixing tips, and just so you know, I'm not paid by them to try this product. I just am going to do it with you so that in case any of you were considering this, you will know what my opinion is of it when we get done here. I haven't used it yet. Okay, there is my 6 ounces of part B. Now, my room is kind of cold today. I've had this my resin sitting on my heat mat, but it still feels a bit cool to the touch. So I'm hoping that we won't have too many bubbles come out with this. I usually at least warm my part A, but on winter days like this, a lot of times I will warm both parts separately before you pour. That's important to know. Never try to warm it after you've mixed it, okay? You're just gonna get it curing really quickly, and that's not what you want. So I've got 12 ounces in here, and I don't know if you can tell. You can tell that it's a bit separated in here, which is what I expect. And now, you know what I'm going to do is, it doesn't call to do this, but I'm going to spray just a couple of sprays of alcohol on my stick. Maybe it might help with a little bit of the bubbles. So yeah, the directions did not say to do that, but I'm just going to try it this way. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. Fits in there just nice and easily. And then push the button. And it goes off automatically, I guess, when it's done. Take you off of here so you can kind of see it work. As you can see, it's working quite well. Gosh, this could really save me a lot of time because I feel like I spend a lot of time just mixing resin. Okay, so that was about 30 seconds or so, and then it just stopped. So let's see here. I do have a few bubbles in there. But I'm going to go ahead and give it another push. Let it continue mixing. Okay, so let's see here. Got some bubbles in there, you see? But you know, I feel like I get bubbles when I mix a lot of times anyway, but we're going to go ahead and now we're just going to let this sit for a little bit. It looks like it's well mixed. I mean, except for the bubbles, it's pretty clear. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let it sit and see if some of those bubbles will rise up on their own. And then I'll be back here in about maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I'll see you then. I still have about 3 to 4 minutes for it to sit here for the bubbles to rise up. But I decided what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this out. Take the mixing part out. Let it go ahead and drip in. I'm just going to like balance it here and let it drain. It's not too unlike just doing this with my little portable handheld mixer that I use, which has seen some better days, but looks like this. Okay, a lot of you probably have something similar that plugs in or is rechargeable, but I kind of do the same thing. I let it drain and drip off before I clean it. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken this part here, I just pulled it off of the little stem, the little connector here to spin it, and I used the tool and I scraped off the paddles, okay, the little spatula tool, and then I've given it just kind of a quick spray of alcohol around it. And then I decide what I'm going to do. I think you would just kind of need to learn what works best for you for like quick cleanup. But you know, if you could mix up this whole container, and that is where I see the benefit, is if you're going to be mixing up large amounts of resin, then you would really, I feel like, find this really useful. My little measuring cups that I use only goes up to 8 ounces. Okay, so now here is our resin. It's been sitting about 5 minutes. And let's see, can you see in here? It still has some bubbles in there. Okay, it's more like centered. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a spray down the center. And gosh, that took care of most of that. Got some micro bubbles in there around the sides. I mean, I can see through the sides when I'm looking straight down in there. I don't really see much bubbles. It looks pretty clear. So the micro bubbles are pretty tiny. It just needed to sit a few minutes. And the resin I use usually has a decent amount of work time.
Okay, you guys, I hope that you can hear me okay without my mic on. I just wanted to say really quickly, I hope that you guys found the video that I did of this machine informative. I'm sorry that it took a little bit longer than what I had anticipated. I just wanted to come in here real quick and say that I actually really like this. If you're willing to give it a few minutes for your bubbles to sit and rise up at the end, to me, it's well worth it, because I really appreciate the fact that I can mix more resin and have it be hands-free so that I can get other things ready for my project and not have to constantly sit there holding my other mixer, my handheld mixer. Just wanted to let you know that that's my take on this. Thanks, everyone. Now we're going to get on to the project.
We are going to be using 3 of these orb or round molds, okay? This came in a set on Amazon. I want to say, gosh, maybe a set of 7 or 8 of them, all the way to a great big ball about that big. And they kind of just staircase down in size. But now I'm going to go ahead and pour into my cup here. I could use this cup, or I could also use one of my cut off water bottles for this part. But I just had this cup sitting handy here. I'm going to go ahead and use some of my mixture that I kind of created myself. That's got a little bit of silver chunky glitter, and then some diamond dust, some little white fine glitter, and also from Dollar Tree, this little sparkly white fake snow. I've kind of mixed this all together in here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a few scoops. You know what I just realized too is that these little openings here are quite small, so I'm probably going to have to go in and get my water bottle after all, because I can pinch that closed. These cups here are they are pretty rigid. They're hard to pinch closed, that kind of thing. Give this a good stir. Since I'm doing these snowmen in this kind of a white, I'm not too worried about the tiny little micro bubbles in here. Now I could leave it this kind of a white, frozen, icy look. I could add one tiny little bit of white to this because I see a lot of the silver coming through, which is pretty, but it might give it just a bit of a, gosh, it might give it just a bit of a more of a vintage look, which I don't know if you know, but you know, usually I love the vintage. But I am going to put a little bit of this, pearl white, pearl white mica powder in here. Get that a bit. Could do just a little tiny bit of our cast and craft. I mean the Lorez Angel White if I need a little bit more. But this is really pretty together. This pearl white with this glitter is really pretty. It's pretty, it kind of keeps it with that cold, frozen look without overdoing it. So, okay, we are going to keep it at that. And I don't think I'm going to add any of the Lorez Angel White. I don't think I need it. Okay, so I'm going to just use it at this. Wipe off my stick here real quick. Yeah, I could have saved this step and saved myself some cleanup if I would have just went ahead and done it into this little cut-off water bottle to begin with. But it's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start with this large one. I'll go ahead and just do a spray of alcohol in there. Quick spray. Kind of wipe it around in there. Okay, so here we go. It's a really pretty color. I thought about doing this snowman in some of the larger sizes, but I decided unless I wanted to fill my little orb with something in the center, that really does take up quite a bit of resin. Okay, that was 2 ounces there. Might have to make up some more, put some more of that resin that I had that's there in our resin container. I might need to add some. Go. It's pretty. And I want to go all the way to the top, but I don't want this domed. I want it just flat right there. Okay. Now this little orb here is probably about, gosh, I don't know, maybe close to 2 inches. So make sure you're checking your resin to see how deeply that you can pour. Now, this is not going to be enough, I can tell. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some more in here and mix some more up for our little snowman. Our resin's looking great. A lot of those little micro bubbles that were in here have dissipated on their own. As you can see, pretty clear in there all the way to the bottom. So, so far, I'm really enjoying that mixer. Let's see, about like that. Stir this in. And we need to add a little bit more of our pearl white. That's about what we had in the last one. Oops, I'm making a mess. Really pretty, you see? Really pretty, kind of a nice snowy, icy, glittery look. I want to make sure that our mica powder is mixed in well. I don't want streaks. I'm going to do a spray of alcohol there. There, one there, one there. Okay. Okay, go ahead and pour. These cut-off water bottles work really well. You can, if you don't have a funnel or something, these work really great in filling up a small space. This little one here is going to be our head of our snowman. Again, we want the top here to be flat, so I'm going just to the top of that circle without filling it in. There we go. Now this one has some pink dye left over from the inside of a project I did quite a while ago, but I've used it many times before, and that does not come through on the new project, so not worried about that. Okay, so that took, let's see, we did 12 ounces. Okay, so this took all together right at about 8 ounces. Okay, maybe just a hair under. But it's a good way to plan. So I'm going to move these over to the curing rack, and then when it's cured, we will come back and do the next step. Okay, I'll see you then. Hello, everybody. I am back, and our little orbs here are completely cured, and I'm excited to get them out of here and do our next step. So let us get these out. We'll get the seal broken around the edges. Grab my paper towel in case I might need to spray just a bit of alcohol down the sides to kind of help this get out here just a bit easier. Let's see what I do with it. Here it is. Just a bit down that side. This side. Okay, it's going to come out pretty easy now. Whoops. There we go. Nice and pretty. Here it is. What do you think about this color? It looks just nice and white and bright with just some frozen, just a frozen look inside. So that's pretty. That's exactly what I was hoping we would get out of that one. Okay, now what I want to do, oh gosh, this one, you can tell, this one's just a bit on the dull side compared to this one on the inside. And it may just be that I've used this one a few times more, so it's probably time to replace this small one, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is I want the flat part of this larger ball to be facing down, okay? And then I want the flat part, or the divoted part here, is going to be the one that stacks on top of this one, and so on. And then this little divoted part will go up there, and then we will have our snowman. So what I'm going to do is I am going to see if I can push those together. Nope. They are too cured for me to do my push them together and have them cure by themselves. And that's okay. So what I'm going to do Let's get my gloves on. And I'm going to go ahead and use my UV resin to attach them. Perfect little round snowballs here. I'm just using Resin Craft UV resin. I think I got this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but it's from Blue Moon Studios. Okay. And see, I think what we'll do is we'll go around the edges of this. Around the edge. There's too much of a divot here in the middle to really worry about getting it in the center of it. So now I'm going to just make sure I've got it centered well before this starts drying. Doing it right now, kind of temporary, just to make it hold in place. And then, last but not least, the head is going to go right on the top. Out like that, I think. Do the same thing on this one. We're just going to go around the edge. And just make sure it's centered pretty well all the way around. Oh, it looks pretty good. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. And look how the UV resin just kind of makes them, it puts them together. It looks like they're just melded together really well. So what I want to do before I start doing anything else with decorating is I am going to go ahead and run it under here for probably about 90 seconds or so, maybe on both sides, just to make sure that we've got it. And I'm just going to lay him down under there. He fits. And do 60 seconds. And then turn him over, do another 60 seconds. Okay, I feel a little bit better about that now. Feeling like it is probably cured a bit better. Okay, so now what I did is I ordered on, gosh, this might have been from Temu or it might have been Amazon. I can't remember, but I will look and find the link. But I ordered all these little snowman pieces, okay? They came with a nose and several different types of hats and arms. And then I ordered these little knitted hats, okay? And I'm not sure which ones that we're going to want to use today with our snowman, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of give it a try with different ones to see. Now, this green hat could go like this. It does look to me a bit small. Maybe you could stretch it out. There's all different colors of these hats, red and different colors. So you could do it like this, and that would be kind of cute. Okay, there's also this hat. Looks a bit small for our snowman. And then there's this bigger hat that would work just fine. And so, you know, I'm not real sure which one we want to do for it. The little knitted hat is actually super cute. Gosh, what do you guys think? Need help with this? Need help deciding? Definitely would have to be stretched way out. It's kind of cute though, but okay, well, we'll come back to that. Now the arms come like this, okay, in these plastic little brown arms. And I decided that it would be kind of almost too big this way. So what I did is I took my craft scissors, kind of my heavy duty craft scissors, and I cut it down at an angle like this. Okay. Just use my big old I don't know if these are Fisker. Yeah, they are. But they just kind of cut down to this so that I could put it more at an angle and have it fit well on here like that. And I'm just going to use a tiny bit of UV resin to attach this arm. And then before I do that, actually, I'm going to cut down this other one to match. Okay, so I'm just going to line them up and kind of find my scissors here. To cut something that's kind of plastic, you do kind of want to cut up closer to this. You'll have a lot easier of a time getting it to cut the way you want it to. Just going to do a tiny dot if I can. And go ahead and place it about in the center. See, we'll go ahead and put our other drop of glue on this arm. And see if we can kind of get this even. I might have to stand them up to make sure so I can see. Okay, so now he's got his arms and he looks pretty cute so far, right? Okay, so now here are the noses. Now this nose, I was able to go ahead and I cut this off. It came with quite the long little piece here. And so I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but I just wanted to show you that this is the length that they come. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off this part. I want them as flat as possible. So it's kind of hard to tell. We don't have eyes on there yet because I'm not sure which hat we're going to use, but I don't know. Let's see, do we want a carrot nose? Do we want just a smaller nose? I think we're going to have to do the eyes first, but before we do any of that, we're going to have to figure out which hat we want. So I think I've kind of decided against this one, too small, okay? So I think it's either needs to be this hat, more traditional, be super cute on him, or this hat that's just kind of really wintry looking. Hang on, I'm gonna go ask Grace and see what she thinks. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so what Grace said, which if you don't know, she's my 16-year-old daughter. She helps me a lot when I have a problem and can't figure out what I want to do when I can't talk with you guys. So anyway, so she said she loved them both. I should do one of each. But since I only made one snowman for the video, I think just for the ease, I'm just going to go ahead and use this little black hat. And so what I want to do is I was looking at it and I think I actually want to add just a bit of some snow. So I'm just going to use my little fake snow here that came from Dollar Tree. It's got just a bit of sparkle in it, but it's just real light and fluffy and not very much. I'm just going to do just like maybe a little bit of a dusting around it. Just a little bit. I'm going to do around the hat. Just a bit here. Like that, just a little bit of UV resin. And I'm going to pour this over the lid so I can pour back in what I don't use. Okay. About like this, just so it looks like he's got a little bit of snow on his hat. And that just goes back in easily. I'm going to use this. Let's see, what would be the best way to put this on his head? I think just kind of like that. Oh gosh, the snow on his hat, just a little bit of that snow looks really cute. Okay, now let me see where this is going to sit. I'm going to do just the rim here. UV resin. And we're going to find what we want to be the front of the hat. I think maybe this. And go ahead and put this light on. Looks like it's sitting straight on there right now. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint his eyes. It didn't come with any eyes that I could find in that pack. Got our pin going. So now this is the part. Hopefully I can just get him a couple of black eyes. About the same size, I hope. Well, they're not completely round. Okay, now let's do his little mouth here. Okay, that's a little bit better. And now we can look and see which one of these little noses we'd like to set on here. Is that nose too big? I think this nose is going to fit his head a little bit better. What do you guys think? Goes about like that. Or this one, I need to clip down a bit more. I feel like it would be just kind of way too big. Yeah, it's too big. All right, so we're going to use this nose. It's pretty flat right now, so go ahead and get my UV resin. Dab on here. And down. And oops. Okay. So what do you think so far? He's looking pretty cute, pretty snowman-y. And his little body is very cold looking. Okay, so now we just need to decide. These buttons, like I said before, are kind of big, but it might actually help kind of tie them all together. So I think we go ahead and do it. You know, if I think it's too big later, then I just know next time I'm not gonna do something that big. But for right now, I think it kind of needs it. It's got the holes in there. I want it right under his nose, so it's kind of centered. There we go. Okay, so here he is. He's looking so cute. Snow, I'm going to go see if I can find a something to use for a scarf for him. I'm not sure I've got anything, but I'm going to go take a look real quick, and then I'll be right back. So I was looking for some ribbon and I didn't quite find what I was looking for, but I did find this remnant of really soft, kind of like velour yarn that was left over from an Afghan I crocheted a year or so ago. So I thought that actually we could use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a string of it here about this big. Oops. And I'm just going to wrap it around his neck like that many times, okay? I'm going to cut off this excess. Bless me. About this many times here. You could probably go one more if you wanted to wrap it around a third time. It would be a little bit more like this. Looks more like a scarf. And then I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it through there. Kind of hard to do with my gloves on. I don't know why I've got them on. They don't need to be. And there we go. I'm just going to let it hang like that. I might just do like a little drop of glue just to kind of hold it on there. But look at that, just kind of finishes them all off. Oh my gosh, how just cute did this turn out? I really am loving it. So let's see, I'm going to snip off just a bit more of his little scarf that's hanging down. Whoops, probably not the right scissors for this. There we go. And now I think he's so cute. He's all done. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh. Cute. I could see making several of these. And if you do craft fairs or something, this might be something really fun you could do with all different kinds of personalities, different hats, different kinds of scarf, different, you know, buttons or whatever you want to do. How fun is this though? Super festive, not just for Christmas, but great for winter. And let me know what you guys think. I'll try to get some better pictures of him to put at the end of the video. But I sure appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you had fun. I will see you all next time.